Okay, gonna pause that. Okay. $100 subscribers? Heck yeah! Woohoo! Everyone watching this video and who's subscribed to my channel and following me on Twitter, thank you. So to celebrate this momentous occasion, I will review a figure that you can find nowhere on Earth other than my bedroom. What? Rumble is red, Frenzy is blue, and I've got a custom repaint to review. Now then, I'm certain I've got to answer a few questions. First and foremost being, why are you making this your Christmas review? Well, here's the thing. I initially planned on making a video entirely in rhyme, and I was gonna have my brother narrate it. But, honestly, due to studying for finals, filming that unboxing video, and a few other things, I couldn't get the script done in time and make it entirely poetic. Or at the very least, 99.8% poetic. And the second question that's probably on your mind is, who the fucking hell is Afteglow? Well, here's what he is. He's an OC. Okay, technically he is a Starscream that I had, which I got really bored with, and decided to repaint into my own original Seeker, with its own name. And why I decided to use the name Afteglow is because, well, it's a pretty darn cool name. And I hate to say it, but technically all the Seekers are repaints. Speaking of, I still really want to get my hands on Siege Redwing. God, why'd that have to be a Red Card exclusive? But yes, as you can see here, I chose to paint Afteglow in black and green. And we'll get to what I used later. But first, I feel I should cover Afteglow's personality, because he's never appeared before in fiction. And probably never will. Afteglow, like all Seekers, looks like Starscream. However, Afteglow existed before the war on Cybertron. Before the war on Cybertron, Afteglow was a massive party animal. So much so that he actually installed green lights into his body to light up on the dance floor. However, when the war between the Decepticons and Autobots broke out, he had the mad scientist Scalpel remove it from him. However, because you can't find good help these days, and because Scalpel was a lazy ass, he just cut the wire running through Afteglow's back, meaning it won't light up whenever Afteglow's in the middle of a mission. However, whenever his spinal column is bent over a Decepticon's knee like a glow stick, the green lights reactivate for a 40-second period. Afteglow's defining characteristic is that he's extremely paranoid all the time. This ability is also useful to Shuttershade, Afteglow's partner. Shuttershade's ability allows her to absorb all visible light except for the light produced by Afteglow. Hence why the two are a team. So what did I use to paint Afteglow? Well, let me read the list to you. Apple Barrel 20504E Black Matte Acrylic Paint. Apple Barrel 21476E Lime Tree Matte Acrylic Paint. Folk Art Trusted Quality Glow 2716E Neutral Superior Coverage Matte Finish. And to prevent any major scratches from appearing on the paint, I sprayed the entire thing sans the head in Rust-Oleum's Painter's Touch x2 Ultra Coverage Matte Clear Spray. So, enough about that, though I'm sure a verbal minority of you would love to know how I painted this, and if you'd like, I'll make a separate video talking about it. But for now, let's review the figure. First off, we'll start with the head, which does not do anything to express Afteglow's personality. Well, this neutral expression isn't great to begin with, namely because the smirking expression only came with Thundercracker and Redwing. Why they didn't give it more expressions just to vary it up, I don't know, but hey, Hasbro's lazy, what can you do? Also, as you can probably see, it has some fairly decent light piping. Also, for being a shell former, he has an extremely cohesive backpack. I should also cover one of the biggest issues people have had, the chest. When this figure first came out, people said it was extremely loose, and I can see that somewhat. In fact, mine's a bit loose itself, though it has apparently been remedied in later releases. If it's tabbed in either mode, it's fine and doesn't really impact it, though I am kinda miffed that it's a faux part. However, on the bright side, it doesn't look like crap like the Impossible Toys version, and it actually exists unlike the Mass Toys version, or Mass Toys, or Maz Toys, which, how is that pronounced again? One thing that people haven't done with these feet before that I noticed is that you can fold them up like this, then angle them forward to give you a bigger foot. My friend Silver says these look like clown shoes when you do this, and I completely agree with him, to the point where I actually planned on filming a stop-motion gag with Starscream reenacting one of the scenes from the original 1980s It. But I only got so far as recording the laugh bit, so here you go, just watch it. So like all the Tetrajet molds from Siege, Afterglow is a shell former. However, unlike other shell formers like Bumblebee, who had an entire movie of hype surrounding him, this figure actually does something good with the backpack in that, well, shell technically, in that it actually forms a very cohesive backpack, unlike Bumblebee's. That, and it's actually kind of fun to fold him up into the Tetrajet mode. Having said that, the faux chest did pop off the figure when I tried to transform it this time. But what are you gonna do? It can't always be perfect. However, the biggest flaw of this figure isn't the figure's fault. It's my fault. You see, I used some very, 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 very cheap paint to give Afterglow his rad color scheme. And unfortunately, in this mode, especially around the nose cone here, it becomes especially apparent that it's not very strong. Fortunately, I have acquired Tester's Enamel Paint, and will be attempting to repaint this thing in the mid to near future. However, it is still a shame that this thing didn't turn out perfect. And while yes, the matte spray did increase some of the durability issues with the paint, it didn't fix all of them. Like, especially on the arm assembly, the upper bicep is sadly peeled off entirely at this point, and I'm probably gonna fix the entire paint job after this video, so there's that. And I was slightly apprehensive about using the enamel paint at first, because A, I didn't know what I was doing, B, no one had provided an in-depth tutorial on how to use them, and me having ADHD means that I need instructions that are so specific that I cannot mess them up. And then, of course, there's the fact that there were the fumes, A, and B, it was labeled as being toxic. But fortunately, I have received tips from the fine folks at r/model makers. I made a bunch of entry-level mistakes, including shaking the paint before stirring it, using the tester's paint to paint rubbery or icky plastic, being impatient and not waiting for the paint to dry, and of course the biggest sin, not thinning out the damn paint. But what do you want? I'm still kind of a noob at this, so I am planning on getting better with this, but I've still got a ways to go. Anyways, I feel as though before I should close out, I should mention that my paint job actually made the detailing on the figure a bit easier to spot, especially on the wings here. Everything that I covered in matte black looks fantastic, and it does highlight all the detail that I feel the gray plastic missed. But what do you want? Hasbro's gotta stick to a budget. So, would I recommend getting the Siege Seeker mold? Yes, I would recommend it completely. Mostly because it's really good. And next year we're getting another Seeker mold, which promises to be even better, and while I am tempted to repaint one into Afterglow again, I'm quite apprehensive about it, because I'd like to at least practice with painting it until I've got it right before I make another Afterglow. So, yeah. Also, having said that, when I was writing this, I was having second thoughts about reviewing it, because, well, it's a custom repaint. No one else on the earth is gonna have one unless I decide to make one. But the reason I decided to review this was because I had reached 100 subscribers, and because it was Christmas. So, overall, that and the original Starscream was kinda boring. Not in character, obviously, but in color scheme. That, and I really wasn't up for painting the mold as one of the seekers from the cartoon. Is that alright with you? So with that being said, please make sure to hit the like button, share this video with your friends, comment down below to tell me what you think about my paint job, and of course, subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell. It's been a fantastic thing that I've reached 100 subscribers in less than a year of, well, less than 2 years of being on this dumpster fire of a website. So with that being said, this is Fireby27, over and out.